Hello students, a very good morning to everyone. I am Vasanta from EC department working as an assistant professor, and today I am going to teach about the subject Basic Electrical and Electronics Engineering B3. Initially, we need to thank to our college management for provide this wonderful opportunity. Online classes, Coursera, and those are providing very good stuff towards your students, and the only thing you can do is utilize these all in a positive way. Now let's move to the subtopic. Now I am going to discuss about PN junction diode. You already know about p-type semiconducting material and n-type semiconducting material. Now the individual applications for p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor are very limited. We are going to join these p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor and see what happened. Right. The main objective of this lecture is we are going to understand the behavior of PN junction diode when a PN junction diode is forward biased and when a PN junction diode is reverse biased. So simply we can say that we are going to study the behavior of a PN junction diode when it is connected in forward biased condition and reverse biased condition. And again we need to study about the input output characteristics. So in this topic, for the PN junction diode we will apply some external input voltage and we will study the behavior of output current. So simply we will discuss about voltage current characteristics or input output characteristics. I am again clarifying here, the input is voltage and output is current. So we can simply say that current is the effect of input. So in the screen you can see the physical appearance of PN junction diode and at the same time schematic symbol of PN junction diode. Coming to the physical appearance, it is having two straight lines in the left side and right side. Those two straight lines are known as terminals. First terminal, left side terminal is the positive terminal and right side is the negative terminal. How can I say positive and negative? Because in the right side I am having a straight line in the body of PN junction diode. The straight line side is always a negative terminal and the other side is always a positive terminal. So we can simply say that PN junction diode has two terminals. First one is positive and second one is negative. Coming to the schematic symbol, again the right side is again the same straight line and this side is negative side and the another side is known as positive side. And in this symbol we can see a arrow mark. This arrow mark indicates the current conduction direction or current flow direction. So from this arrow mark we can say that in the PN junction diode the current is always flows in the direction of positive to negative and opposes the current in the reverse direction like negative to positive. So from these two pictures we can clarify that PN junction diode is a two-terminal semiconductor diode and allows the current in only one direction and that particular direction is positive to negative and opposes the current in another direction that is negative to positive. Right. So what is this straight line indicates? This straight line indicates the depletion layer, depletion region. We will see what is this depletion region and also we will see how the current flows from positive to negative. Since you guys are already discussed about PN junction diode with no bias condition and all of you aware of depletion region, I think. Right. Now, what is this p-type semiconducting material and n-type semiconducting material and what happen when we join a p-type material with n-type material. And how we will join? We will simply take a p-type semiconducting material and n-type semiconducting material, and we'll combine these two semiconducting material by using a special fabrication technique. We can't just simply pushing or welding. We'll do a special fabrication technique to join the p-type and n-type semiconducting material. Clear to everyone? Now, what is a p-n junction? So, as we know, when a p-type semiconductor is suitably joined to an n-type semiconductor material, then a contact surface is formed, and that area is known as p-n junction. And this junction is formed between p-type semiconducting material and n-type semiconducting material. Now, what is a diode? So, as a title implies, diode, di means di means two. So, diode have two terminals. One terminal is known as positive terminal and other one is negative terminal, and diode always allows the current in only one direction. Now, by combining these p-n junction and diode, we can say that p-n junction diode is a two-terminal semiconductor device which allows the flow of current in only one direction and opposes the current in another direction. Simple. It is very simple. Now, coming to the electronic symbol of p-n junction diode. We already discussed it. In the electronic symbol, we are having an arrow mark and one straight line. This arrow mark shows the direction of current and this straight line indicates the depletion layer. And now, in the below figure, we can see that here we are joining a p-type semiconducting material with n-type semiconducting material, and this is denotes the no bias condition because we can see that there is no positive supply or no negative supply is used here. So this is known as no bias condition, and in the previous lecture you are already discussed about this. So whenever we connected a p-type semiconducting material with n-type semiconducting material, a depletion layer is formed between these two materials. Clear? Now, you guys are already know about n-type semiconducting material and p-type semiconducting material. Now, what are the majority charge carriers in the n-type semiconducting material? Electrons are the majority charge carriers and holes are the minority charge carriers. Similarly, coming to the p-type semiconducting material, holes are the majority charge carriers and electrons are the minority charge carriers. Clear? Everyone should know about this basic information. You should know about what is the charge carrier, what is a positive charge carrier and what is a negative charge carrier. So we are having two types of charge carriers, electrons and holes, and electrons are always negatively charged and holes are always positively charged carriers. Clear? Without knowing this basic information, we can't really understand the future topics. Now, in the screen you can see a blue color p-type semiconducting material is joined with a red color n-type semiconducting material. Here we can see that p-type doped region. We know already p-type semiconductor is trivalent impurities added and n-type semiconductor is pentavalent impurities added. And even we guys know about doping. Doping is nothing but adding impurities to a pure semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor. By adding the impurities to a pure semiconductor, we will get the extrinsic semiconductor, and again these extrinsic semiconductors are two types. Those are p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor. To the p-type semiconductor we will always add trivalent impurities, and n-type semiconductor we will add pentavalent impurities. Clear? Now, coming to our topic, in this figure we will simply join a p-type semiconducting material with n-type semiconducting material, and immediately there will be a depletion layer is formed. And What is this plus minus? This is known as battery symbol, and this positive and negative. The battery has a positive electrode and negative electrode, and the positive electrode of the battery or plus symbol of the battery is connected to the p-type semiconducting material, and the negative electrode is connected to the n-type semiconducting material. Clear? This is the way of connecting the p-n junction diode is forward bias condition. In the forward bias condition, always the positive electrode is connected to the p-type semiconducting material or p region, and negative electrode is connected to the n-type semiconducting material or n region. Clear? So what happened after this connection is happened? Clear? And we also know that even before the connection of external supply, when we simply join a p-type semiconductor with n-type semiconductor, there will be a formation of depletion layer immediately. Now for this we are applying a external positive power supply. Now this is the forward bias condition here. In this region, in the p side, the silver color balls is known as holes, which are the majority charge carriers in the p-type semiconductor, and orange color ones are the minority charge carriers, which are the holes in the p-type. And coming to the orange color minus indicated are negative ions, and in the same way, let's have a look in the n-type semiconductor, n-type material or n-side region. We are having majority charge carriers are orange color and minority charge carriers are silver color, and positive ions are at the nearest to the depletion layer. Clear? So when we join a p-type semiconductor with n-type semiconductor, a depletion layer is formed and positive and negative ions are at the both side of the depletion layer. Right? Now what happened? Initially the battery or external voltage is 0 volts. Slowly I am increasing this battery from 0 volts, 0.1 volts, 0.2 and 0.3. Right? And because of this external voltage, there will be a movement in the majority charge carriers and minority charge carriers. Right? Now I am connecting a positive supply from the battery to the p-type semiconducting material, and we already know that positive repels, positive negative attracts. Now in the p-type semiconductor, holes are the positive charge carriers and electrons are the negative charge carriers. Due to the application of positive voltage to the p-type semiconductor, the positive charge carriers in the p-type semiconductor are repels from this battery. I repeat, due to the application of positive electric external voltage from the battery, the positive charge carriers are repels from the battery and they travels towards the junction. Now what about the minority charge carriers? Those are negative charge carriers or electrons. Since we are applying a positive supply, and these negative charge carriers in the p-type, which are electrons, are attracts towards the battery. Clear? So due to the application of positive supply to the battery, the majority charge carriers, which are holes, crosses the junction, and the minority charge carriers, which are electrons, reaches the positive electrode of the battery. In the same way, we are applying a negative voltage to the n-type semiconductor. Due to this negative voltage, the negative charge carriers in the n-type are electrons, and these are the majority charge carriers here, and these electrons are repels from the battery negative supply and crosses towards the p-n junction. And in the same way, the minority charge carriers, which are holes, and these are the positively charged carriers will attracts towards the negative electrode of the battery. Clear? Now what happened to the majority charge carriers in p-type and n-type? The majority charge carriers in p-type and n-type semiconducting material will simply crosses the junction, and the minority charge carriers in these two materials will simply reaches the electrodes of the battery. And when majority charge carriers are continuously crossing the junction from P to N and similarly from N to P, the width of the depletion region will be decreased. And now if I still increase the battery voltage, the width of the depletion region is further decreased. So exactly we want to know at which voltage the majority charge carriers crosses the junction. Initially I am increasing the battery from 0, 0.1, 0.2. When I reach 0.7, if the material used is silicon, at this 0.7 voltage, the majority charge carrier starts to cross the junction, and this is known as knee voltage. If I use the germanium material as the p-type and n-type semiconductor, when I starts from 0 volts, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, exactly at the 0.3 battery voltage, the majority charge carriers crosses the junction. So this 0.3 or 0.7, 0.7 for silicon material and 0.3 for germanium material. This voltage is known as knee voltage, and knee voltage is nothing but the minimum voltage which is required to cross the junction for the majority charge carriers from P to N side and N to P side. Clear? So if a majority charge carrier should cross P to N or N to P, it should reach the battery voltage should reach the knee voltage, that is known as threshold voltage, and which is ranges from 0 to 0.7 or sometimes 0.3 depending upon the material used, which is germanium or silicon. Clear? Now what is the condition of PN junction diode here? When I am still increasing the battery voltage, more majority charge carriers crosses from P to N and N to P. Now the width of the depletion region becomes very thin and it will be sometimes reached nothing. At this situation, the current starts conducting, and this PN junction diode works as a on switch, or it conducts current in positive to negative side, or we can say that it is a closed switch. Clear? So we need to remember two important concepts. When we apply a positive supply or when we connected a PN junction diode in forward bias condition, the width of the depletion region will be thin and decrease it to 0. And the second thing is the current starts conducting, and the reason of current starts conducting is due to the majority charge carriers only. The current starts conducting when only if charge carriers crosses the junction. Here only majority charge carriers are crosses the junction and minority charge carriers are reached the battery. So we can simply say that the current conducting in a PN junction diode is due to the majority charge carriers only, and those majority charge carriers are holes in P type and electrons in N type. Clear? So you know about knee voltage already. Please go through it once again. And this is the operation. This is how it connected to the P type semiconducting material and N type semiconducting material. And this is the journey of electrons and holes from one side to another. And this is the result. What is the behavior of PN junction diode? So we can simply conclude the behavior of a PN junction diode when it is connected in a forward bias condition here. The PN junction diode will simply act as a conductor and close the switch, and it allows the flow the current through one direction, which is positive to negative side, and it is in a switch on position. Clear? So we'll move to the next topic, that is p-n junction diode in reverse bias. So we need to recollect again. In p-n junction diode in forward bias, the p-side semiconducting material is connected to the positive terminal and n-type semiconducting material is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Coming to the reverse bias condition, we are going to reverse these conditions. Like the p-side material, the p-type semiconducting material will connect it to the negative terminal of the battery and n-type semiconducting material is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. That is the only change we are doing here. Let's see the diagram. See, again the p-type semiconducting material is connected to the negative electrode of the battery and the n-type semiconducting material is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and the depletion region is already formed. And now what happened? Whenever I increase the battery from 0 volts, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, depending upon the material used, at knee voltage which is 0.3 or 0.7 sometimes, at this knee voltage the reaction starts. What happened in the p-type semiconducting material? When I am applying a negative voltage to the p-type semiconducting material, due to this negative voltage, the negative charged carriers. What are the negative charge carriers in the p-type? Those are electrons. Right. So these electrons are the, what is this? These electrons are the minority charge carriers in the p-type semiconducting material. Right. So due to this negative voltage, the negative charge carriers in the p-type are electrons will crosses the junction, and the positive charge carriers. What are the positive charge carriers in the p-type? Those are holes will reaches the negative electrode. Clear? So which number is big here? Either holes or electrons are more here. In the p-type semiconductor, always holes are the majority charge carriers. So we can see that majority charge carriers reaches the electrode, reaches the battery electrode, and minority charge carriers, electrons will crosses the junction. In the same way, when a positive electrode is connected to the n-type semiconducting material, due to this positive supply, the positive charge carriers in the n-type semiconductor are holes, and these holes are minority charge carriers here, and these minority charge carriers will crosses the junction, and the majority charge carriers or electrons or negatively charged carriers will attract towards the battery electrode, battery positive electrode. Clear? So we can simply observe that whenever we connect a reverse bias condition to this p-n junction diode, in the both p-type and n-type sides, majority charge carriers will reaches the battery and minority charge carriers are crossing the junction. So the current conducts here still, but the number of charge carriers crossing the junction or in the both sides, those are minority charge carriers only. Since the number of minority charge carriers is always less in this case, and even the current conducts but very little current is conducted, which is under microamperes only. I am going to clarify you again. Here the minority charge carriers are the crossing the junction and majority charge carriers reaches the battery electrode. Since only minority charge carriers are crossing the junction, and as the number of minority charge carriers are very less in p-type and n-type, now even because of the number of charge carriers are, because of the number of minority charge carriers are very less, now the current conduction also very less when compared to the forward bias condition. And again very less number of minority charge carriers are crossing the junction, so automatically the width of the depletion region will be increased, because all the majority charge carriers in the p type and n type are forcefully attracts towards the battery. So each and every majority charge carrier attracts towards the battery in p type and n type, so automatically the depletion region width will be increased. So whenever the depletion region width will be increased, the force which is required to crosses the junction will be less. Clear? So you need to remember the one and only thing here, in the forward bias majority charge carriers will cross the junction, and coming to the reverse bias minority charge carriers will cross the junction. So we can simply say that the current conduction in the forward bias condition is due to the majority charge carriers, and coming to the reverse bias the current conduction is due to the minority charge carriers only, and even the current value is also very less than forward bias condition. And one more difference is, in the forward bias condition the depletion region width will be very thin, and in this reverse bias condition the width of the depletion region will be increased. Clear? This is explained in few topics here. Please go through this and explain about minority charge carriers and reverse saturation current, and hence the current conducted in the forward bias is known as forward current, and the current conducted in the reverse bias condition is known as reverse current or reverse saturation current. Clear? So coming to the conclusion of reverse bias, what happened when a PN junction diode is connected in the reverse bias condition? What happened? It will simply act as a off switch, and it conducts very less current, which is due to the minority charge carriers, and depletion region width will be increased, and it works as a off switch. Now if I still increase the reverse voltage is nothing but VR. Whenever I still increasing the reverse voltage, what happened? The depletion region width will be still increased, and the PN junction diode will fail, and there is some particular voltage. At that particular voltage I am still increasing the reverse voltage, and when the reverse voltage reaches to that breakdown voltage, the diode fails, and that particular voltage is known as breakdown voltage, right? So up to some point the current conducts in the reverse bias, and when I am still increasing the voltage in the reverse bias condition, at some particular voltage the diode will get heated and the diode fails, and that particular voltage where the diode fails is known as breakdown voltage. So what is the voltage I am increasing? From 0, minus 0.1, minus 0.2, because this is under reverse bias, right? Whenever come to the forward bias, 0, 0.1, 0.2, like that. Clear? Now we'll see the input output characteristics for the PN junction diode. So what is the input here? It may be a forward input or reverse input. The input is always current, and the output is always the input is always voltage and output is current. So now we are seeing the voltage current characteristics are input output characteristics. See, here we can see the voltage current characteristics of the PN junction diode in forward bias condition and reverse bias condition in the same graph. In the top section we can see that VF and IF. When a PN junction diode is connected in forward bias condition, we can increase the input external voltage, that is known as VF, forward voltage. Here the diode is connected in forward bias, so we can simply term it as VF, forward voltage, and the output current is known as IF, forward current. In the same way, when a PN junction diode is connected in the reverse bias, the input voltage is known as VR, reverse voltage, and the output current is known as IR, reverse current. Clear? Now, what happened when the voltage is increased from 0 to particular value? Initially, the VF, forward voltage, is at 0. At this point, there is no current conducts, and when this voltage reaches from 0, 0.1, 0.3 up to 0.7, and here the material used is silicon, so that's why only we are indicating as 0.7 knee voltage, and when this forward voltage VF reaches from 0 to 0.7, then the majority charge carrier starts crossing the PN junction and current conducts. So 0.7 is the knee voltage, which is the minimum voltage required to conduct the current, which is the minimum voltage required to majority charge carriers crosses the junction. Clear? Now, coming to the behavior or graph of the PN junction diode in reverse bias condition. Now again, I am going to increase the reverse voltage VR from 0 to particular value. Up to some point, up to from 0 to those dotted lines, this PN junction diode conducts no current, and when it reaches some particular value, that is known as VBR, that is breakdown voltage. At this breakdown voltage, the PN junction diode conducts current, but the range of current is very little when compared to the forward current, because in this reverse bias condition, the current conducts only due to the minority charge carriers only. So in the forward bias, the current conduct starts at the knee voltage, which is 0.7 volts or sometimes 0.3 volts, and in the same way, the reverse bias condition, the current conducts the very little amount of current, which is in microamperes, conducts at the breakdown voltage VBR. Clear? And now, if I am still increasing the reverse voltage VR more than the VBR, in the reverse voltage I started from 0 and at some point I reaches VBR, breakdown voltage. I reaches the breakdown voltage, and at this breakdown voltage diode starts conducting very little current. Later I am still increasing the reverse voltage VR. What happened to the PN junction diode? That is the topic here. We'll see this. So we'll see this later. When I am still increasing the reverse voltage VR, which is more than the VBR breakdown voltage, what happened? We'll see in the next topic. Now, okay, so far we are clear about PN junction diode with forward bias condition, PN junction diode with reverse bias condition, and how the PN junction diode behaves in forward bias and reverse bias. Clear? More current conducts in the forward bias condition and very less current conducts in the reverse bias condition, which is in little current in the range of microamperes only. Clear? Now, the next topic is diode current equation. So, this is the only derivation part. Even I can't say it is a derivation. It is simply known as a formula, right? What is this diode current equation? Diode current equation shows the relation between input voltage and output current of the PN junction diode. So the input voltage is V and output current is I. So the derivation or the formula for this diode current equation is, we need to find out the output. So what is the output? Always current. In the PN junction diode, the input is always voltage and output is always current. So we need to find out the output current of the diode. So that's why ID is the diode current, and ID diode current equal to Is into e power QVD by NKT minus 1. And please don't expect very tough problems. Even the problems in this diode current equation is very simple. The problem they are giving values and we'll simply substitute the given values and we'll find out the diode current. The type of the problems are very simple here. So we can know ID is the diode current in amperes and Is is the saturation current in amperes. Saturation current is nothing but forward current, diode forward current in the forward conduction. We can also say that IF and E is the Euler's constant, which is constant 2.71, and Q is the charge of electrons. This is also constant 1.6 into 10 power 19 coulombs, and VD is the voltage applied across the diode. The forward voltage VF or VD applied across the diode in the forward bias condition, and N is the non-ideality or emission coefficient, typically between 1 and 2 depending upon the material. If it is silicon it is 1 and germanium it's 2. And K is the Boltzmann constant, which is also constant here, and J is the junction temperature in Kelvin. And already few days ago I have shared a PDF copy of your material. Please go through the PDF copy which is shared in the WhatsApp groups, and I gave an example under this expression, under this diode current equation, and please practice that problem. We are having only one type of problem under this expression. We'll have given some values in the problem and we'll simply substitute the values and find out the diode current ID. Clear? Let's go to the next topic. So we'll revise again. Diode has two basic modes, which one is forward bias condition and reverse bias condition. So we can simply say that in the forward bias mode it conducts current and it works as a closed switch and it is in on condition. And coming to the reverse bias, it opposes the current and open switch and off condition. Still there is very little current in microamperes flows in this mode. We'll see what happened. So up to now we see the behavior of practical diode. The diode we are using in the experiments, the diode we are connecting in the circuits practically. Now we will see what is the behavior of ideal diode, what is the behavior of theoretical diode. In the practical life, no diode can act as an ideal diode, because here we can say that in the forward bias condition, here the diode conducts current. So when a device is conducting current, we can simply say that the resistance of the device is 0. And coming to the reverse bias, it opposes the current. So we can say that the resistance here in the reverse bias is infinite. But in the practical way, we have seen that there is also some current conducted in the reverse bias condition. So coming to the resistance issues, in the forward bias condition the resistance should be 0, and in the reverse bias condition the resistance should be infinite. So this is the ideal values for the resistance, but coming to the practical values, we can't always get the infinite resistance in the reverse bias and 0 resistance in forward bias. We'll see what is an ideal diode. So this is the ideal diode. When the diode is connected in the forward bias, it works as a closed switch and it allows the current in one direction. and this is known as on switch. When it is connected in the reverse bias, it works as a open switch and it conducts no current, and it works as a off switch. We will see the graph. So in the practical diode, when a diode is connected in the forward bias, when at which voltage the diode current conducts at 0.7 or 0.3. So in this ideal diode, the current conducts initially at the 0 volts, but this is the only ideal value. In the practical issues, due to the temperature or due to some practical reasons, not any single diode conducts at the 0 volts. Only this practical diode conducts from 0. Coming to our practical diode, see here the diode conducts current at 0.7 volts, right? You can simply say that the diode starts conducting at 0.7 volts. But coming to the ideal version, here the diode starts conducting current sharply at the 0 volts only, and at the same time coming to the reverse bias condition, here at some particular voltage, breakdown voltage, the diode starts conducting current, and coming to the ideal version, whatever will be the reverse voltage, the diode will never conducting current, right? This is the ideal behavior of a current. So by using these current issues, we can say the resistance as, in the forward bias, the current starts conducting at 0 and the resistance will be 0 volts, and in the reverse bias, whatever will be the reverse voltage VR, the diode will never conduct current, and in this reverse bias condition, the resistance will be infinitive because the current is 0. Both are in opposite nature, right? Okay. What are the major applications of diode? Rectifiers, Zener diode and varactor diode, and these two topics, rectifiers and Zener diodes, are the future topics in our unit. Clear? We'll go in depth about these two topics, and varactor diodes we don't discuss. We'll see these two topics in future, later classes. Now I want to conclude this session with some quiz questions, right? So what we have discussed in this class, we discussed about PN junction diode with forward bias, PN junction diode with reverse bias condition, and input output characteristics or voltage current characteristics of PN junction diode, and we discussed about ideal diode, and we also compared the ideal diode with practical diode, right? In the examination point of view, we will understand the behavior of practical diode only, because in our daily life, no one diode will act as a ideal diode. No, not one single diode will offer infinitive resistance or zero resistance. Due to the temperature issues or due to the knee voltage, the behavior varies from ideal diode to practical diode. Okay, fine. So after the first video lecture, now I am going to give some quiz questions. While playing this PPT, while playing this video lecture, please respond your answers. Please enter your answers in the chat box which is given below, right? Please give your answers in the comment section. Write the question number and give the option. It may be A, B, C, D, right? So coming to the first question, the arrow direction in the diode symbol indicates. So we are already discussed about this. So what is the arrow indicates? Whether it indicates the direction of electron flow, direction of hole flow, or direction of opposite to the direction of hole flow, or none of the above. Please say. So, in order to answer this question, you should know about the relation between electron flow and current flow. The flow of current is always opposite to the electron flow, and flow of current is always in the same direction of hole flow. I repeat, the holes and current will flow in the same direction, and the electron and current flows in the opposite direction. Clear? Please give the answer in the comment section. And coming to the second question, what is the knee voltage or cut-in voltage of silicon diode? We already discussed about this, and give your answer in the comment section in the same way. Coming to the third question, when the diode is forward bias, it is equivalent to off switch, on switch, or it is in a high resistance mode, or none of the above. Please give your answer in the comment section. And coming to the fourth question, avalanche breakdown. So this is the future topic. We'll discuss about this. So at the avalanche breakdown, the diode will fails, right? So we'll see this in future. And the last bit of this quiz is, when a reverse bias is applied to diode, what happened? Depletion region width will be increased, or potential barrier will be decreased, or increases the mesotic area current greatly, or none of these. Please give your answer. And I am going to conclude this session, and in the next class we will discuss about one of the application of PN junction diode, which is Zener diode, and I will give the introduction about rectifiers. So for the tomorrow class, I am giving some topics. You please Google through those topics, which are the breakdown mechanisms of the PN junction diode. Those are avalanche breakdown and Zener breakdown. Please know about these two topics, and those are the basic topics for the tomorrow video lecture, right? And in the tomorrow class, we are going to discuss about what are the breakdown mechanisms of the PN junction diode. Those two breakdown mechanisms are avalanche breakdown and Zener breakdown. And the next topic is Zener diode, and we already discussed that Zener diode is one of the application of PN junction diode. So what is the Zener diode, and what are the applications of Zener diode again, right? We'll see the operation of Zener diode in two different modes, and we'll see the application of the Zener diode, and we'll simply compare the differences between PN junction diode and Zener diode. And the next topic is rectifier. I think all of you know about rectifier. What is the rectifier, or what is the process of rectification? Rectification is simply converts the AC voltage to DC voltage. So for the understanding of rectifier, again all of you students should know about what is AC voltage and what is DC voltage. If you don't know about the AC voltage and DC voltage, you can't understand this topic, rectification. And even rectification is also an example, is also an application of PN junction diode, and we'll see how many types of rectifiers are there. Okay, we'll meet in the next class. Good day, stay home, stay safe. Signing off.